right? When we ask the question, how quickly does it get that bad? Meaning, we looked at 10 tasks project and we look at 100 tasks project, and we see that from 10, which had a 4.6% on-time delivery, to 100, which had a 0% on-time delivery. How fast do things get bad when you go from 10 to 100 tasks in a project? And even for some people, 100 tasks in a project would be a rather toy project, a very simplified or simplistic project. So in other words, we are asking the question, is a project fragile to the size, i.e. in this case, the number of tasks? And by fragile, meaning that the inaccuracy of the estimates grows faster than the number of tasks in a project. And in fact, that is what happens. Here is the same simulation applied to projects of 1 task all the way up to 30 tasks. And you see that, at 5 tasks, the probability of on-time delivery is less than 20%, but at 20 tasks is almost 0%. And it just gets worse, slightly worse with anything that goes beyond 20, but you see how fast it declines, how fast the accuracy of estimates decline once you go from 1 task to 20. And then after that, it's basically 0. So the number of tasks in a critical path of a project the inaccuracy of estimates grows much faster than the number of tasks in a project. Now, intuitively, all of you applying Agile out there already know this. This is one of the reasons why Scrum, for example, has 2-week sprints, right? Because the unpredictability of a 2-week delivery is a lot less than the unpredictability of a 1-month or a 2-month or a 6-month delivery. And that's a very important contribution of the Agile movement towards the software industry. Making smaller projects is a very effective strategy at containing unpredictability, or in the case of Scrum, having 2-week sprints and delivering to production every 2 weeks. Now, one of the things, though, that estimators, so the people who advocate the use of estimates, tell us, at least implicitly, is that the errors of estimation are linear, meaning that, you're always about the same error, whether it's a small project or a large project. Well, if the errors of estimation were linear, you would see a decline in performance of estimation like this, right? You would see a straight line as the number of tasks grows, the errors grow, but they grow proportionally to the number of tasks. But that's not what happens in reality. In reality, we see a very quick decline in the accuracy of estimates that leads to an almost 0 on-time delivery performance when you get up to 20 tasks. And this difference here is the difference between what we are told and the actual reality of on-time delivery for software projects. And this is a very important aspect for us. This is what we're promised. This is what happens. There's a big difference here. And the difference, as you can see from this curve, is drastically disproportional to the number of tasks, which means that, for example, from 1 task to 5 tasks, you decline massively the accuracy of estimates. Even to 10 tasks, you go to half of the accuracy of estimates. And then after that, it's just basically 0. So one of the things that we need to recognize is that there's a process at play here that basically tells us that estimation going wrong is a fat-tailed process. What that means is, that's what this graph is about, that the errors in estimation grows very, very fast. Therefore, the consequences of those errors grow much faster than the size of the projects. And that's what a fat-tailed process looks like. And this is, of course, in contrast with understanding overruns or errors in estimate as just, small errors or random errors. It's not like that. It's a fat-tailed process, which means that errors grow much faster than the size of the project, which is entirely consistent with the previous slide. By the way, this is in this project, in this paper here, and again, you will get the links with the deck later on.